first, there's breaking news. A power outage leaves subway riders stranded underground for hours. The ongoing impact on train service tonight and what it could mean for the morning. Good evening. I'm Christine Johnson.
I'm Maurice Dubois. This whole mess started around 5:30, and crews are still trying to figure out exactly what caused this power outage in downtown Brooklyn tonight.
Here's what we know right now. 3,500 passengers on two F trains had to be rescued. Some people were stuck underground for up to 3 hours. And the MTA says that it expects service to be restored by tomorrow morning's commute.
But right now, there are still delays on multiple train lines. Naveen Dhaliwal live in downtown Brooklyn with the latest. Naveen.
Yeah, Maurice, the MTA says 3,500 passengers on two F trains had to be rescued as power was lost on both of those trains. And tonight, crews are trying to restore that power. Confused passengers seeking help from the MTA as they try to find a way home.
The on train, yeah, to the Barclays.
That's after two trains came to a sudden stop after a power failure between the J Street Metrotech station and Hoyt-Schermerhorn stations around 5:30 p.m. Wednesday.
That's how asinine the MTA is right now. The MTA, they can't work in the rain.
The FDNY responded, helping pull stranded passengers from subway grates as other frustrated commuters dealt with delays.
It's cold. I want to get home.
4 days a week I take the F train.
And now you find out there's no power on it.
Basically. I'm going to have to find another way home.
The MTA says the loss of power resulted in disruptions to the ACFG lines, which either lost power or had to be rerouted. 3 additional trains were briefly stuck without power and moved back to the stations with power.
I'm trying to go to Dumbo, so I was trying to get on this train, but now I'm waiting for the AC, and it's just like delaying.
I changed from number 3 to A line, and then I got stuck.
Late Wednesday night, both stations affected were quiet as powerless trains sat on platforms.
I just want to try to get home, but you'll find plan Bs and other options to get home.
Now, the Con Edison is working with the MTA, and they say that they expect power to be restored by tomorrow morning's commute. In downtown Brooklyn, Naveen Dhaliwal, CBS News, New York.
Okay, Naveen, thank you.
Fire rescue expert Glenn Corbett, who is an associate professor at John Jay, is joining us now on the phone. And Glenn, you know, we're talking about 3,500 passengers stuck on this train. We see them being rescued out of the grates from underground. Tell us what goes into a rescue like this. It's got to be complicated.
Yes, exactly. So the FDNY does train for this specifically. Of course, passenger safety is the most important issue here, particularly when the power is out underground. It's not only dark down there, but of course, there's always a possibility of energy coming back on with the third rail. So the firefighters most likely basically were spread out underground on the subway tracks, helping people out of the cars and then walking to one of these stairwells that you showed earlier, one of the grates in the street, basically, or to one of the stations. But basically, the firefighters will be strung out along to guide the people with lights so that they can see where they're going and help them up to the street surface.
Wow, highly complex situation, Professor. So I don't know if many of us understand exactly how trains are powered. Can you tell us how that works, and then what could cause such a power failure?
Right. From what I have gathered so far, it appears there's a transformer failure, which is, of course, part of the electrical system for the subway. The subway runs on electricity, and the electricity is basically channeled through what's, of course, called the third rail. That's where all the power comes to run the cars and run the lights and in the cars and the air conditioning, what have you. So when that goes out, the subway cars come to a grinding halt. And, of course, if there's no power down there to move them, then that's where the fire department steps in and, again, gets them out safely and particularly pays attention to where this transformer was and, of course, they don't put people in danger for that respects. So again, they've trained for this many, many times, and it sounds like they've moved several thousand people here tonight out of the subway in Brooklyn.
That's right, 3,500 to be exact or approximate there. So, Professor Glenn Corbett, we thank you for the insight tonight. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Maurice.